I'm trying to get this light working. Can't get this light to work. Oh well, I'm not here to be cute. So, I was supposed to talk about this topic a little while ago. I felt the Lord calling me to speak about this issue. Well, not issue, but topic. And would you have it? It's like almost 1 in the morning and I can't sleep. And it's just like, get up and do the video. The Lord already called you to it. Don't play. So you can easily give it to someone else. Don't mind me. I'm looking ratchet. I'm really not here to be cute. So, this video is titled Parenting a Child with Autism and How It Reminds Me of My Walk with God. So, first I want to talk a little bit about what it's like parenting a child with autism, or how it feels parenting a child with autism. Obviously, I don't want to say obviously because a lot of people don't know, but for me, it was like going on to the tallest mountain you could climb and falling off from the top. It was devastating. It was the worst news that I've ever gotten in my life. It was some of the worst news. Like at the time, obviously. I was 19 years old at the time that I was about to be a single mother, or I was already a single mother, and I accepted it. And it's just like, I had hope though. I'm like, well, I have a best friend. Like my kid, I was like, well, I have a best friend and we'll be able to talk and we'll be able to have fun, travel the world together. We'll get to know each other. I'll get to know his favorite color. So it's like, I had all of these expectations, and I have like 17 nieces and nephews, 17 plus nieces and nephews. So I was like, he's supposed to be doing certain things by 10 months that he just wasn't doing. And I got a little concerned. I remember taking him to the hospital. I'm like, my kid is deaf. To the doctor, the pediatrician. He's like, girl, this kid ain't even 1 year old yet. He's not deaf. So he schedules me a hearing test. He can hear. I went back twice about him being deaf, and then he scheduled me a hearing test. He passed that. I take him back to the hospital. I said something was wrong with him. I can't remember. The doctor looked at me like, this kid is fine. So I go back again. I'm like, my kid is autistic. Mind you, he's 10 months. They do a questionnaire, and they're like, well, he scored high on the test. So I'm like, I knew it. You didn't take me serious. I said, wait, do you know if he'll ever talk? They said they can't really tell. Don't blame yourself. Don't go into that loophole. Just keep going. And I have a verse that helps me with that wandering. And it is John 9, 1 and 3. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples said, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Neither this man nor his parents, said Jesus. But this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. That's for anybody wondering, what did I do? What did I do when it comes to your child having autism? This could be happening so the glory of God can be shown, you know? And I'm going to read down. It says, Luke 14, 13 to 14. But when you give banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they can't repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. God gave us children that we don't expect to ever pay us back. Like, you know, we have the hope that they will grow up and do great things because we put our faith in our children. But once you figure out your child is autistic, The thought of them paying you back for everything is not there. You don't have that mindset. You kind of get in the mindset of, I'm going to be with you for life. I'm going to take care of you for life. So what you do for your child is literally from the heart. It's not like, oh, when you grow up, you're going to be like, not saying that they can't be these things, but what I'm saying is, you know, the chances are slim to none almost. So everything you do for your children, your autistic children, is out of love. It's out of a place in your heart that you don't expect to be repaid. And how blessed are we to have those children with us? Us taking care of autistic children, or if your child is disabled in any way, the Lord said, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. We live with these children. We take care of these children every day. How much blessed are we? How much blessed are we to be selfless? To be blessed with children to teach us patience? To be blessed with children that the world, I don't want to say the world, to be blessed with children that are going to be put last. God trusted us with these children. God said, before I placed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. That doesn't stop at humans with perfect functioning brains. That's for every child that ever came through the womb. Our children are still great. Our children are still lovable. And isn't it amazing that God is going to reward us for taking care of these children? Our children are not a pity party, y'all. God literally gave us children that builds our reward in heaven. How lucky are we? Imagine how much God had to trust us to place these children in our hands. To be able to experience the feeling that God feels. We can't talk to our children unless you're one of the lucky ones that can. But for the most part, talk to our children in full conversation. Just like God can't talk to us that way. Imagine being able to share something so sweet with God. It causes you to understand somebody beyond words. And sometimes it's like that with God. When you have to sit in silence long enough to understand what the Lord is saying to you. That's how it is with our children. They communicate with us in other ways. You start to learn what your children are saying by the faces that they make and by the way they walk and with pointing. It's so silent, but you understand it. That's just like us with God. Or when you know you're doing something good for your child and you're telling your child, I'm doing this for you, but they can't understand that. That's just like us with God. When your child starts screaming because they want chicken nuggets right away, but they can't comprehend that. You have to put them in the oven and let them bake first. Like, they're not ready yet. If you give it to them now, they could get sick. Remind you of something? Remind you of somebody? When you want something right away, but God is like, hold on, let it go through the fire first. It's not ready yet. And you start looking at your child like, don't you believe that I will feed you? Like, why do you think I would withhold food from you? It's just like, God, don't you believe I'll give you good things? Why would I hold good things from you? If I give it to you right now, it'll just make you sick. You're not ready for it. Are a lot of things, well, most autistic children, they like to play and like throw up and fetus. Yes, being an autistic mom gets hectic. But doesn't it remind you of that one verse? Only a dog returns to his vomit. And I remember one time I was looking at my kid, why do you keep playing in these things? And I just felt something like, remind you of somebody? Remind you of something? We are more like our autistic children than we think. We do a lot of stuff that they do. We're not that different. We're not that different from these children. Once you stop and think about it, how much y'all have in common, it makes you realize how much patience God has with you. Like, one thing they do, since they can't talk to you, when you don't get what they're telling you, they scream, cry, and throw themselves, and they have like the worst temper tantrums. And it's just like, Lord, I do this to you. I cry and scream and kick and try to take things back that you took from me because it could hurt me. And I'm just like, and you let me, and you have patience and mercy on me. And it causes me to be more patient with my child. If I didn't have an autistic child, I would have never known how merciful God is. And it's just like, Lord, thank you for letting me experience just a little bit of what you experience. Thank you for letting me experience what it's like to look at me from the lens of you. And it's like, no matter what your autistic child does, you love your child. Even when they make you mad, because Lord knows they will make you mad. They will make you sad. They will make you cry. They can bring so many emotions. And it's just like, you're still my child. And to know the Lord loves me that much, it's enough to bring a grown woman to tears. To be blessed with a child that builds my rewards. I had another verse that I wanted to read, and it's Matthew 18:1-6. And the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And calling to him a child, he put him in the midst of them and said, "Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever receives one such child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and drowned into the depths of the sea." One thing I admire about autistic children is that even when they grow up, they're still able to have a childlike spirit. And the Bible tells you, unless you can humble yourself like a child, you won't see the kingdom of heaven. So while you're trying to change your autistic child and judging, or if you're anybody else judging an autistic child, know that you better learn to have the same spirit as that child. Know that you better be able to humble yourself down like an autistic person if you ever want to see the kingdom of heaven. God is a great God and he makes no mistakes. And just because you don't understand or you don't like something doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean that that wasn't God's plans for them. Don't ever lose hope in your autistic child. God has a plan for your child. Heaven is forever. But guys, I'm gonna go to bed. But guys, good night. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm a little tired. I hope I made sense. I hope this helped somebody. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.